Go.
I'm pretty sure this is video 18, so let's go with it. The top level of the actions that humans, our human experience, the top level is recycling. And I'll say this best, what this looks like is if you have a really good teacher that you think about 20 years after you graduate, 10 years after you graduate, whatever, or maybe even it's the next year after you've already moved it past their class and you went to the next teacher. There's certain teachers in our life, whether they're named coach or teacher or professor, or maybe in some other way, maybe there's somebody who is your next door neighbor who mentored you on something. But there's another person that they continually feed into your mind something they taught you years and years and years before that you can still use today. That's recycling. That's having the wisdom to understand all the different aspects and then teach it in that way that it's taught right to that individual the way they understand it so that they can use it for their life. And the best, I had a dream one time of people walking along in a line, straight line, and they were on one of those conveyor belts like you have when they speed you up at the airport. So no matter if they're walking or standing, they're still moving forward. And at the edge of this cliff, there's 3 different outcomes. I saw people, again, this is a dream, I saw people who didn't have anything but themselves at the end of the road, at the end of this cliff. And once they got there, they had no mechanism except to try to stop themselves from falling over the cliff with their own mechanism. Okay, those people, I would say, are the most unprepared people. Just not realizing anything about what happens in life, not really understanding anything of what's happening for their future, and so they didn't prepare for it, is how I took it. The second type of person has a parachute. That person, when they get to the edge of that cliff, can then jump off the cliff, pull their parachute, land safely, and go about their business. But being so much lower than the cliff, they couldn't really be of service to anybody else in the line coming up. So what I boiled that down to was the people with the parachute were people who only looked out for themselves. So yes, they would survive, they were smart enough to survive, but they didn't think about anybody else. And then once they got to a certain level of effectiveness, they didn't really help anybody but their own cause. And then there's a third kind, which this is the leaders that I'm trying to pull out right now, that it's, hey, it's safe to come out and talk about truth again. Hey, it's safe to believe that there's an absolute truth in the world, and I'm holding it, and it's copyrighted, and we're safe with it. Those people I'm trying to talk to is the third people in the dream, and that is the people that realize this is going to happen, and they buy themselves a hang glider. So what happens with a hang glider is you jump on that mechanism that's making you travel to go over the edge, and as soon as you hit the edge, you're in a hang glider. So you can go out there and you turn back around, and then you can go back and warn people in line, hey man, not only did I save myself, but if you have a hang glider, now I have the opportunity to save all the other people. And so as humans, we're all on the same boat. We're all on the same trajectory as far as the time and space continuum that we're stuck in. There's no escaping it, but there is a way to protect yourself and then also help others, and that's being a hang glider person. Use your hang glider to save you, but then also keep yourself viable to also help your other people around you, your circle of influence, your sphere of influence, because they matter too, to not only you but the world, and you give them a survivability that other people wouldn't be able to do. And like I said, I call that name recycling, and that's what it looks like. You're helping other people get to their legacy path because you found yours, and now you're recycling all your wisdom and giving it to them as individuals so they can use it as motivation, as working smarter than harder. They can be smart about their work and then work less hard, and it all is a self-fulfilling positivity of a properly purposed existence. There's plenty of existence out there that isn't properly purposed. So we need plenty of people, everybody we can find, to start living purposefully to their legacy path and why they're here. And eventually we're going to figure out that we're all connected together and there's really no room for all the stuff that's negative. And I can, everybody knows those lists. We get on social media every day and see all the lists. So we know which ones those are. Let's start being the other side. And we can root out all the other garbage with the completeness that is recycling, teaching, helping, mentoring, all that kind of stuff, the people that are around us. So I'll end that here. I'm going to go next into some of stuff I call like the satellite features around the chart, and we'll make that on the next one. See ya.